And here we come to our first full-blown on team fight. That will be a bit more detailed because that's actually a good start into a bad mode. I will do it on half speed, but on one go. What we basically have here is a tower defense with two people on Soul side will coming into game late. Awilix returning from base, Ra and Ching Chen coming from base. They obviously go for the tower, so they go for the push. They have minions, so back-to protection is guaranteed. Sobek is zoning, Capri is staying back. The backline is staying on the outer rim of the tower. Jing Jing tries to do a play, gets Awilix ulted, and now we have the back end engaged. The Zeals gets totally caught, Sobek gets out. We have already one kill, the tower will stand strong. Good jump away, good pull, and good damage. Ram's Knight's hitting home. We get the kill. 2 for 0 trade for about 500 HP at the tower. Good return poke. Perfect situation for an objective on the other side. Bit of poke, the chase down here is probably too far. We have here the call is made to retreat. Already lost about 5 to 10 seconds on the time spent. We have the angry pings of the opponent team that they didn't have the rotation called. And we lost about 5 to 10 seconds on the objective already. Do that Ra chase, that tower dive. Herc took a bit of damage. The God Fury dropped to half. They contested. No chance to secure it, especially with Ra trying to get that lazy back. Didn't make it. However, good second engage. We have another 2 kills going down. And a few Ching Chen Auto was wasted here. Now we have Zeus, Capri and Medusa returning. Another attempt of the Gold Fury. Now I have to go down again to half speed. Hercules going for the driving strike in. The call to retreat the Gold Fury to grab it was made. And now we have a major split. Hercules out of position, kind of. And we had a split. Medusa getting back into the backline, does not get anything out of her Petrify. But we had a double attempt at the Gold Fury, 4 really good kills, and now we lose one player for no real reason at that point. And we're losing finally even more. That should, at least if that's the same. But we had like the advantage, not going for that would have been not going for the chase. Medusa making good poke. We have that Ra snipe brilliantly played. Ram ult to secure it anyway. The shots were good to go. Hunbat's engaging here on the Capri ult was panicked or blocked, but anyway it ended up being a really bad call. That beam is slightly out of range. So what did we get out of it? We got a tower defense where we kill 4 men in 2 fights. We nearly got the Gold Fury twice, and we lost in the end 2 players for not. Yeah, we see where that's going. So basically evened out the game a bit. Gold dropped closer to each other. Still about 2k gold difference, not too big. The XP difference is close. Overall, map and warding pressure. We have wards placed. Still a superior map version overall. The opposing team is usually warding smart, but with fear wards, and our wards mostly placed right to prevent the melting. We have 2 buffs up. Time to get some clear doing, especially with Gold Fury. No version on Gold Fury though. And again, that's Gold Fury version is needed, especially if you don't have the awareness of the first Gold Fury. We have a bit of poke, Hunter lane. Oh, we're getting. It shouldn't be all too much. Bit of a trade-off. But jumping out, sentry was cleared, and ward was cleared. A bit of wards. Now Ram trying to bait right on the ward. That's unfortunate, especially without sentry ward. So Medusa not going to rotate. On the other hand, we have Hercules again out of position. Was pulled into it. Gets out of it. Xingqian peeling the back off. Jump away. Ra uses his ultimate. Opposing team is a Part2 demon. On the other side we have Ram and Medusa doing their jungle fight. And yeah, we have now two scenarios we have to actually watch. That 1v1 fight is actually pretty interesting and I would like to see it, but yeah, we have the back off call on the Part2 demon, getting retreat, placing two wards here. Could have been spotted or not. Medusa's again in the jungle. The mid lane fight basically turned off. And we're getting back to our Hunter lane fight. Still here. Overall we call. Mini wave is cleared. Perfect turnaround to avoid it. And now we have like the weirdest thing at least in that game. Like perfect turnaround on the Medusa ultimate. Behind the minions, getting lacerated, but the next basic attacks will be blocked. One more basic attack and I let the pictures speak for themselves. We're not gonna talk about it anymore. We have something else to discuss. We have again our Hercules, a bit overextended in a 3v3 fight. Trying to get the engaged call with the not have the right here. But again, opposing teams they have their beats up. So even if that engage could become like a real dangerous one, that could have been stopped anytime soon. On the other side, we have our Thunder here. Not sure if Thunder on Hercules is really a viable option to pick up. Besides that, build overall looks okay on that side. We have that Oracle, chance of the Oracle where we already talked about, and I should take the same time on. Good avoid of the plug here, but the tower gonna fall. There's no way that can be defended. The main wave's coming in, tower's dead. Now opposing team is going into the jungle right over the ward, and it's clear what's should be happening here. Also vision on through the oracle, so yeah, Gold Fury is going to be made. That's an actually good attempt to contest with it. They dropping it early, probably to want to fight. Sobek is zoning, getting a lot of damage off. We're getting out of the fight. That's taking actually off the Ra snipe. They contesting it again, dropping it again. Accidentally, now we have another zoning on the left side. And an attack off himself. That attempt with the Ram ultimate is a bit off, a bit late. We have to respect the attempt, but that's not gonna happen. Capri will die here, unless something happens, like a really big slow of Zeus and the Chain Lightning who turns around. And we have now one of my favorite scenes here, chasing. There's a basic rule in video games and MOBAs in general, don't ever chase. And that chase is on Sobek, where Fear and Hercules thinks he's tanky, and he obviously shown he is not. And then if we have one who makes a mistake, why not have two? That's not bad. So we can get that easy kill, right? We have two low HP targets, so why not go for that kill? Well, that's why. Basically. Because just turns into a 5v1 situation, or 5v2 situation. Even if that's Sobek falls, there's no way everybody else falls. And at best case it's a 2-for-1 trade, in the worst case, we just saw the worst case. And waiting for some respawns. Not all too much going to happen, usually with backup farming. With some time to watch the stats. We have 5.6.7 wave to wave, it will be around 5.5k gold. 6k XP, that's pretty much the highest vote. We had that surrender vote, probably a tilting vote. I hope that wasn't main series, because that game was totally returnable, and we will see how it ended up being actually a one game. That is pretty much the biggest lead they ever gonna accomplish, with double the kills. We have now our typical fire giant portal demon grouping. God Fury's done. Hunter's pushing, so we're pretty sure to get that tower if we drop the portal demon for it. Losing portal demon. We're happy to do so. Widows is spotting around, checking war timers. Not really anything that comes out of it. Unless, of course, somebody is overcommitting to a fight. And wrong reds here, but the Fear No Evil and slightly of the Max Knight. Unfortunate, tower has been done. Recall is maybe a bit late here on Ram. He backs off the itself. As a fight, we have another clean off. We'll see what happened here. We can see can think of what the team fight will do. Basically, what will happen in the team fight is that they get cleaned off with a pretty dominant team fight overall, and on the other hand, we have late disengaged, the chain lightning is missing. Zeus is trying to get the kill, will get a huge detonate off, and we basically see Gem of Isolation doing some work. We get a disengage. Good disengage, probably the back attempt was too late. On the side we're getting a kill, Sobek was killed, and now we have a great and to say perfect body blocking of Capri. He has no way to escape. So Sobek escaped actually in the fight. We ported back in. Opposing team is pushing. Now we have one team fight. And we got one tier 1 tower out of it. They got Porter Demon, so Sobek could get back into the game. Ram surviving a gank barely. That could have gone differently if that chain lightning would have hit. That slow would have been enough to kill. Probably later back, should have backed when the tower was made. That's sometimes how it works. Or not works. We have a bit aggression on solo side again. After already one member was backing. Well, lazy backing here. And basically have to run instead. Getting some forwarding. General map vision. And I will take the time to get the times of stats. We got about 500 gold back into the game. I gotta beat it even. XP just turned back into in the upgoing trend, so that's good. XP values, Medusa at top part. And Medusa's farming a lot in the second half of the game. And we have that great rotation after a good 1v1 brawl. Hunbert's coming up for the cleanup. And not sure if that play is really needed. Can go for it like later. We have another good plug onto 2 from so Hercules on the other side.
Story begins.
Good cleanup. Capri gets pinged angrily by his teammates. Opposing team is not happy with how their things going at the moment. With again a chase, and this time it's a chase you can take. That Sobek will die. On the other hand, now we have a target switch. Jing Chen is chasing Zeus, will finish him off late. Sobek gets killed. Target split. And the objective course, God Fury. In this case, absolutely correct. There's no time to waste on like trying to get the tower without backdoor protection removed. 3 God Fury done. And we get back to the graphs. Already got lead basically halved in one play. All started with Soul Lane doing the right calls and Dual Lane surviving or winning that 1v1 hunter trade. Plus the rotation of Hunbert's. Basically winning 2 fights on 2 sides of the jungle on the map, ending up in Gold Fury and yeah, halving the back. That's a good point of recovery. The game gets back into your hands. So we have another downtime of nothing really happened. Already, Medusa lead just shrink by 2 levels in one shutdown. We have a bit aggression packed out, a bit chain lightning poke, a root for no big reason, real reason, doing more damage. Foreman group up on solo line side, not much gets out of it. Vision is lackluster at that point. Fire Giant Vision has to be established, especially when God Fury is down and Part2 is supposed to respawn. So we had that fight. I kinda slept on that, but we had the Ching Chain ult in this case, ulting towards the Ra, so the Ra snipe is secured, dealing a good chunk of damage. The Hunbatsu ult is a bit off, however its zoning out a Wheelish would pay out in the end. Still, Hunbatsu ult as a direct follow-up to Ching Chain ult would have been better. Medusa using both her relics, they're popping a shell, Zeus ult is coming, Medusa ult is turning around. Good avoid of that. Still a lot of damage taken. A Wheelish ult blocked out. The Herc Boulder coming, chunking a lot of damage. And if its protection comes a bit earlier, the fight could have looked different. But the team is already spread out by the opponent. This ult. It's a good amount of return damage. That Mentor Discord stun is huge, with 3-man stunning. Where I'm getting some good snipes off, not enough to secure the kill on Zeus. We get him back on half speed, and we see good poke again by Ra. Second member lost. Good knock up, but at that point the fight is lost. Unless you can get a really highlight play with all abilities down, not gonna happen. The fight is lost. You lost 2 members. You played your cards good, but not good enough. It wasn't not a favorable fight, still slightly behind the gold. Not going to talk about items at that point, but the important power spikes were not there. Most items were finished, just wasn't enough. However, losing a fight does not always mean you have to lose the objective. Part2 Demon Call is good, and now we have another good play. Abandon the Part2 Demon for the kill attempt. And again we have this situation where not everything plays out. We get the pull of Ram, who's in the front line, by Jing Chen being too far behind. The follow-up pull on Ram, resulting in using both relics. We have the Ra snipe finishing off the Capri, well done. Chain lightning finishing off. That's another kill down. Fire Giant, and we have a DSM. We lost 3 people. The Part2 Demon call was good. The attack call was good, but the overall fight went wrong, and especially when Zeus appeared, it was over. However, opposing team does not care about the ward, and we have another good play, shutting down the Zeus. And wasting a lot of time of objective time. However, yeah, not going to end up the death. Another one chasing it down on its own is forced to use Fear No Evil, so we delight the Part2 Demon by a lot, and potentially a Fire Giant follow-up. But we got 1 kill out of it. Basically he used 2 ultimates and 1 got killed in the return anyway. That's more kind of like throwing stones at, and not like a brick wall. That's not gonna happen. Like, you can maybe get something out of it, but not really. In my perspective, like overwatching it without like having comms right now, just a weird call to make. It's the Part2 Demon, it's not Fire Giant. If Fire Giant, that's the right choice to make, and maybe even Gold Fury, but Part2 Demon at that stage can be big, but it's like the least priority objective on the map. At least for its value, especially with gold being relatively even, or where relatively even. Again, we're back to 4.5k gold. We have another engage, just getting Capri, while exposed to a Wheelish. We have another poke, Jing Chen getting killed again. The Fear No Evil's on perfect timing, however, Capri ults us too. spread out shells good of the opposing team. A lot of damage mitigation. Medusa's cleaning off. Oh, better to say, great use of line of sight here. Not gonna lie. Then we have like a slight miscalculation. This would have died here if we had Soil. However, teamfight overall goes good, especially on that exceptional play on avoiding the Medusa ulti. I don't make a rewind to see that, because I kinda don't want to make too much time out of it. Excuse me. Talking too much. And yeah, we have a tower push. Opposing teams Portal Demon ran out, so they don't have anything use out of it. Getting second tower. And back out. You can get Gold Fury out of it. Capri is still down for why Medusa won't have the time to connect it. So Gold Fury is the right call to make. Stopping back here. Check, one person has to check if Fire Giant will be started. Even with just 3 people, a Wheelish has a lot of damage if she decides to pop her ultimate. That's going to make it just enough to see if Fire Giant animations are playing. Okay, I have status mode. Not sure what that's gonna mean. And I will make a break here.